You ever have one of those moments that makes you question if the world really changed, or if we're all just pretending? That's what went through my mind that misty morning in Willow Grove National Cemetery. You could taste the grief in the air, flags limp on their poles, grass wet enough to soak your shoes through, the whole place quieter than a church at midnight. I was there for my best friend, Marcus Bellamy, a man who had my back in the worst corners of the world, and now I was supposed to stand with him one last time, urn in my hands, heart pounding under this heavy blue uniform, my general's stripes glinting cold in the pale sun. You know, folks see that uniform and they think you've got it made. But truth is, the higher you climb, the more folks line up just waiting to knock you down. That's a lesson I learned early. Being a black woman in the Army, you carry not just the weight of your rank, but everybody's doubts, too. I've had doors slammed in my face, whispers behind my back, all those sideways glances that say, not you, not really. But I just kept my head up, one foot in front of the other, because if you ever let them see you break, that's when they win. So picture this. I step out of that black SUV, boots clicking on the stone, and immediately the guards by the gate snap to attention. I'm not there for ceremony, not there for show, just me, Marcus, and a promise I made when the gunfire was close and we weren't sure we'd make it. That's the only reason I showed up that day, just to keep my word. But there's always someone, always, who feels threatened by a woman who won't shrink. Officer Todd Keating, cemetery security, steps right up, blocks my way with that hard look people get when they need to prove they're in charge. He smacks his hand on my hood, hard, like he owns the ground we're standing on, then gives me this look, like, you know you don't belong here, right? He asks to see my ID real slow, and when I hand it over, he barely glances at it before laughing, shaking his head, telling the whole crowd, they make these fakes real good now, huh? And there it was, that ugly suspicion, out loud for everyone to hear, just daring me to call him on it. I could feel every eye watching, all those families, soldiers, the little boy in the front row clutching his mom's hand, not understanding why this was happening at his daddy's funeral. I stood my ground, voice steady as stone, told Keating, you're not doubting the ID. You're doubting I ever earned it. My fingers were digging into that urn so hard my knuckles ached, but I wasn't about to step back. He kept on, told me I wasn't on some list, that I didn't have proper authorization. His voice got sharper, his cheeks redder, like he wanted me to snap, to make a scene. But I'd learned long ago, you don't fight fire with fire, especially when the world's watching. It got quiet, so quiet you could hear the flags rustle. Keating snatched the ID from my hand, waved it in the air, shouting about proving yourself, about people like her. That's when I felt the mood shift, like even the sky wanted to turn away. My brothers and sisters in uniform, some of them wanted to step in. You could see it. But fear and habit kept them frozen. So I took my card back. No struggle, no anger. Just a look that said, I'm not backing down and you can't make me. But Keating, he wasn't done. Maybe he realized everyone was watching. Maybe he just needed the last word. He went for his gun, right there at a funeral, in front of a flag-draped casket, pulled his Glock and pointed it at my chest. Yeah, that happened. You could hear people gasp, mothers clutching their kids, veterans shifting in their seats. But nobody moved. For a moment, even I could hear my heart banging away, but I kept my feet planted, stared him down, told him, "If I die here, the whole world will know why." And I meant it. Suddenly, two security officers in military gear stepped up, voices calm but sharp, told Keating to drop his weapon. He spat on the ground, mumbled about knowing who I was, but they disarmed him and led him off in cuffs. He left trying to act tough, but the only thing I saw was fear. A man realizing too late that his power was built on nothing but air. After that, everything felt different. The funeral kept going, but the honor guard, the families, even the priests, all of us felt that crack running through the ceremony. It wasn't just Marcus we were burying. It was the idea that some people still think they get to decide who belongs and who doesn't. When I finally laid that urn by my friend's casket, I felt heavy and light all at once, like I'd kept my promise, but at a price I'd never wanted to pay. The world found out, fast. Footage was everywhere. People argued. Some said I was stirring up trouble. Others called me a hero. The only thing I wanted was for folks to see what really happened, and maybe start asking why. Letters poured in. Veterans, mothers, even kids, telling me they'd been silent too long, that next time they'd speak up. In court, all the old complaints about Keating came out. Years of it, ignored, dismissed, swept under the rug. This time, nobody could look away. The judge handed down the harshest sentence allowed. But as I stood in uniform, giving my testimony, I told them I wasn't there to be a victim or a symbol. I was there because Marcus trusted me, and I stood up for him, and for every soldier who never made it home. You know, people still argue about it. Was justice really done, or did we just make an example out of one man? Will the system really change, or is it just another headline? I guess that's up to us. All I know is, when it mattered, I stood my ground. I hope if you ever face a moment like that, you'll do the same. Because real honor isn't about rank or medals, it's about standing up when it's hardest. So, what would you have done? Would you have spoken up or stayed quiet? Have you ever seen something that just didn't sit right? Tell me your story down below. I want to hear from you. Let's talk about what justice means and how we can do better.